Okay, boys and girls, today our book is going to be about tornadoes. Before we get started with our book, we are going to do another KWL chart just how we did the day before. So make sure you grab your paper and your pencil. You section it off into 3 parts, and you're going to write what do I know, what do I want to learn, and what did I learn. So we're going to do these 2 before we go on to reading our book. So for the first part, make sure you pause it to write your own ones. Write 1 or 2. For the first one, we're going to do what do I know. So for mine, I wrote that tornadoes are natural disasters, and I know that tornadoes destroy anything in their path. So make sure you have your 1 or 2 examples. And now we're going to go into our what do I want to learn while we're reading the tornado book. So pause the video and write what you want to learn. For mine, I wrote that I want to learn how do they form and why do they form. So that's what I'm planning on looking out for in the book. And what did I learn we will do after we are done writing it. So make sure you pause the video and make sure you have these 2 completed. Okay, and now we are going to go on with the book. So the title of our book is Tornadoes, and our focus question is, what are tornadoes and why are they dangerous? Our words to know are going to be atmosphere, damage, funnel, moist, strike, and tornadoes. This is going to be our table of contents. Okay. What can lift roofs from buildings and sweep houses into the air? Tornadoes can. Tornadoes come in many sizes. Some tornadoes measure only a few feet, 1 meter across. Others are more than a mile wide. Some tornadoes touch down for a short period of time. Others travel for hundreds of miles. So right here we see a powerful tornado that hit St. Louis, Missouri in 2011 almost tore the roof of this home and turned over an SUV in the driveway. So right here we see how a tornado destroyed a house and it flipped over a car. How do tornadoes form? Why do tornadoes happen? Scientists aren't sure. They know that strong tornadoes come from huge thunderstorms called supercells. These storms form when warm, moist air rises in the atmosphere and mixes with cold, dry air. Scientists think that in some supercells, the mixture of air at different temperatures causes the air to spin. The spinning air forms a cloud in a funnel shape. When the funnel touches the ground, it becomes a tornado. So here we have an example of a supercell thunderstorm moves across Nebraska in June 2004, leaving a few tornadoes in its path. Some scientists think that tornadoes happen in order to balance the temperature and moist in the air. And for our picture, we have in the bottom it says, this funnel cloud eventually became a strong tornado that hit Kansas in 2004 with hail as large as softballs. Right here we have an example of how tornadoes form. So in the first picture we see how cool air moves in, and then we have the air spinning around. We have our supercell thundercloud in the back, and how the warm air is rising up to the cold air. In the middle, we have the air keeps spinning inside the thundercloud, and you have rain and hail beginning to fall. And in the bottom, we have the funnel clouds touches down and travels over land. So in the last one, that's when you see the tornado hitting the ground. Measuring tornadoes. Scientists are still studying the causes of tornadoes, but they have a system to estimate their strength. They use a special scale called the Enhanced Fujita scale. It uses wind speed to rate a tornado's strength. Scientists look at the damage caused by a tornado to estimate wind speed. EF 5 tornadoes, the most powerful tornadoes, have winds greater than 200 miles per hour. So on top, that's where we're going to see our EF scale chart. So it starts from the first one, which is the EF0. The EF0 has 65 to 85 miles per hour wind. Our EF1 has 86 to 110 miles per hour wind. EF2 is 111 to 135 miles per hour in wind. EF3 is 136 to 165 miles per hour. EF4 is 166 to 200 miles per hour. And our strongest tornado is going to be EF5, which is over 200 miles per hour in wind. Where tornadoes form. Tornadoes may be hard to measure, but scientists have a good idea where they will strike. It's possible for a tornado to happen anywhere in the world. However, most tornadoes occur in the central part of the United States, also known as Tornado Alley. More than 1,000 tornadoes develop each year. So in our picture in the bottom, we have a picture of Tornado Alley. And everything that is highlighted right there is what is going to be known as Tornado Alley. So it is where most tornadoes will hit in the United States. In Tornado Alley, the mixing of air from the north and south creates perfect conditions for a tornado. Famous tornadoes. A tornado in 1925 traveled more than 300 miles through Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana. It killed 695 people, the highest number of people killed by a tornado in United States history. In 1992, a tornado in Mississippi carried a baby up into the air and left the child hanging from the branch of a tree. The baby was hurt but lived. 2 huge storm systems in April 1974 and April 2011 each produced hundreds of tornadoes. In May 2011, an EF5 tornado struck Missouri. This tornado crushed cars and trucks and destroyed more than 7,000 homes. And in March 2012, a giant tornado swept through Henryville, Indiana. It was enormous, 150 yards wide, and traveled a far distance of 52 miles. Tornado safety. Because tornadoes are so dangerous, weather scientists do their best to warn people before a tornado arrives. However, there's no way to be sure that a tornado will strike. The National Weather Service tries to help people stay safe during tornadoes. If they declare tornado watch, it is possible that a tornado might develop. The NWS releases a tornado warning when scientists have actually spotted a coming tornado. At this point, it is important to get to a safe place. The safest place to be is indoors, in a basement if possible. The next safest place are closets or bathrooms. Try to stay away from windows because a tornado can blast through the glass. Get down low to the ground. If possible, go under a heavy table or desk and cover your head. You can even go into a bathtub. The spinning cloud of a tornado causes things to fly around. Because this can be very dangerous, it's always important to protect your head. If you can find a mattress or blankets, cover yourself with them. If you are in a tall building, find the stairs. Do not stay inside a mobile home in a tornado. If you're in a car and can't escape the tornado, park the car, leave your seatbelt on, and lean forward. If you're stuck outside, lie down flat on the ground, far away from trees. Our conclusion: tornadoes are amazing and scary, examples of power of nature. Whether scientists are working to invent better ways to tell when a tornado is coming. Many questions remain about tornadoes. What really causes a tornado? What is it actually like inside a tornado? Perhaps one day we'll find out. And then this is our glossary. So make sure you go back to your KWL chart. So since we already finished reading the book, now I want you to pause the video and write 1 or 2 things that you learned from the book about tornadoes, and try to answer if your questions were in the book. So try to answer these as well. So for mine, since I saw that my questions were in the book, so for my first one, I wanted to know how they formed, and the book said that it is air at different temperatures causes the air to spin, which causes a tornado. For my second one, I asked why do they form, and the book told us it forms to balance the temperature and moisture in the air. So make sure you try to find your answers to what you wanted to learn, or if you learned something other than that.